Hey guys, how are you doing? Keval this side, your business automation coach. I'm back again with a bang on topic called how can you 10x your team productivity? Friends, we all know that we are spending huge amount of time, money and efforts on making sure that our team works according to our expectation and team actually works to grow the company so that we can get a huge or a good amount of ROI on the time and money which we're spending on the team. Now, a lot of time we do not realize there are so many leakages which are going on either into the task delegation given to them, or there is a process documentation which is not there, or maybe there is a proper job description which has not been created. There might be many areas. So today let's learn what are those core areas where if you work automatically and gradually your team will start performing 10x. So let's start with the training. So the topic of today is how can you 10x your team productivity? Okay, and the first element of your team productivity, which I'm having for you, this is the topic called how can you 10x your team productivity. The first element is key responsible activities. Now you need to make sure that you listen to this properly with full focus. uh, what happens that whenever your new employee joins in, there is a JD job description which has been created for him to make sure that he fulfills the work which is given to him. Now few kind of work is on daily basis, some kind of work is on weekly basis, once or twice a week. There would be some kind of work which will be once a month or twice a month, right? Now due to lack of documentation, due to lack of tool and technology, a lot of times employee actually forget to complete their regular task when they get stuck on one of the most crucial or one of the daily firefighting tasks. Imagine your employee is having 5 tasks and one of the tasks he got stuck in, he'll not be able to perform other 4 tasks because all those work which he has is in his brain, not on his notebook or any tool or systems. So what are the key responsible activities? KRAs are basically the job role, the activities which your teammate needs to do, and it can be divided into 4 parts. Okay, it can be daily work that they need to do, any weekly work they have, maybe some work on Tuesday, some work on Saturday. Maybe for the manager, the Monday work is to create a target for the entire week, or maybe to have a team meeting. On Saturday, his work is to submit the report of the progress to the director. As an example, the daily work can be on the client follow up or the team follow up meeting or something else. Same case in terms of monthly, the accounts guy can have GST filing as the monthly task, or maybe creating a proper accounts, creating a profit and loss statement as the monthly or bi-weekly activity, right? So this is called the KRAs, key responsible activities. Now what do you need to do? You need to have a Google sheet based of tool where you define your employees list, you define their daily, their weekly, their monthly and their fortnightly task, and there is a technology available through which your employees will get to see their task on daily basis. And when they click on the checkbox that they have completed it, automatically you can get a report on your mobile that they have completed the work. Now if you don't have that tool, no worries, you can join our webinar. You can explore that how Google Form and Google Sheet can help you out on building these kind of tools. Okay, and meanwhile what you can do is that you can start writing the KRAs, the key responsible activities for your employees. Now this is the first pillar when I talk about how to make your team 10x productive. Define their KRAs, okay, and make sure that they see the KRAs and they fulfill that on every day. Second tool which I'm going to talk about is the Intrasite. It is basically the internal company portal. If you would have worked in any multinational company or any bigger company, you would have seen that every big company is having an internal portal where if somebody wants to apply for a leave, they will go to the HR tab and they will apply for a leave. If somebody wants to give a lead to the company, they will simply go to the Intrasite, go to the sales tab and fill a lead. So Intrasite is basically your internal company portal where you can place all the Google forms, okay, which you have created, all the Google sheet which you have created into another tab. Department wise, you can create the tab on sales, marketing, operations, and HR. And any company policies that you have, you can have one tab for that. Team name, their email ID, their phone number, so that a good community, a good culture can be built. The companies whose culture is strong, they are much way ahead than other companies who are just focusing on the sales and growth. So this Intrasite helps you to build a really nice culture. And any current openings that you have, you can put it on the Intrasite. Now you might be wondering that, Keval, what is the platform which we should be using on building these things, especially building the Intrasite? Now, I don't know whether you have heard of this topic called Google Sites. Google Site is one of the application of Google on which you can create a website, you can create a landing page, and you can restrict that how many users, what specific users can see that website or that landing page. So Intrasite will be your website built on Google Site, which is restricted to only your employees and yourself, right? Now, in my the complimentary webinar that I do, I cover this topic as well on how can you use Google Site to create any kind of website, right? You might have seen the link in the description of the video. You can enroll for the complimentary webinar and you can start your automation journey with us, right? Third element. So there are two elements we have covered. First is KRA, second is Intrasite. Tell me in the comments, how did you find these two elements? Third element is going to be leave management. A lot of time what happens is that everything is going fine in the company except discipline. And leave is one of those excuses which a lot of time employees find, and due to not any management of the tool, you're not able to find out, you're not able to calculate the total leaves taken by each and every employee, right? So apply the leave and approval and rejection. So you should have a Google form where an employee should be able to apply for the leave. And there is a lot of add-ons which are available in Google form through which you can get a request or an email from the employee and you can either approve or reject that particular leave. And when you approve, it automatically gets added to the database that the employee has taken a leave and vice versa. So this is the third core element when I talk about 10x the team productivity. Tell me, how did you find this? Fourth element is company policies. A lot of time what happens is that we are just don't have any proper company policies, either the attendance policies, leave management policies, the total time that people need to devote in their work, that kind of policies, data security policies, right? Dressing policies, the way you communicate. There might be a lot of areas where you can create the policies. What you can do is that you can use the Google Docs, okay? You can define these policies and you can post these policies into your Intrasite so that each and every employee who joins your company firstly read the company policies before they start their work. Now it again once builds the discipline, builds the culture and turns your business into an organization where everybody follows the rules and work under those rules. Because if your team is not following the rules, then the results will also not be consistent. If the effort is not consistent, a result will not be consistent. And consistent efforts only come when the team is disciplined, when they're following the policies, when they're following the rules, right? Awesome. Now, the next element which I have for all of you, till now we have covered 4 elements and I hope you are enjoying these elements. So yeah, all credit goes to the Google for making the technology easy that you will be able to implement all of this, right? Can we have a round of applause for Google for this? Yes. So I'm going to the next element, which is called process documentation. Now what happens is that imagine that you and your employees, right? How many years are you into business? Type in the comment how many years it has been that you are into business. 5 year, 2 year, 3 year, 20 year, 10 year, or you have just started out. As a business owner, from getting the inquiry to the final payment, you know all the permutation and combinations, yes or no? But your team does not know that. A lot of new joinees who have been with you just for 6 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 year, they don't know each and every parameter. And due to that, what happens? They make mistakes. They do a lot of blunders. Agree or not, right? So to avoid that, what you can do, and what happens when they make mistakes, they always pick up a phone and they start calling you. Sir, can you guide me what to do in this, what to do in that? On each and every small thing, they keep asking you. And what happens? You lose the confidence on your employees and you start micromanaging your business. And when you start micromanaging your business, that is where your business starts declining, because you are not working on your business, you are working in your business. You're not working as an entrepreneur, you're just working as a technician and as a manager who is just surviving, not growing, because your entire day and time goes on to just managing the task, following up with the team and just completing the normal activities, but you're not focusing on the growth. Now this can be avoided when you document the process properly. And there are a lot of tools, including the tool called draw.io. Draw.io is a tool which you can use to actually draw the processes, and these processes you can convert into Google Doc or PDF, and you can have it on the Intrasite, right? So what kind of process can we have? Lead generation process. Your sales team or your marketing team should be completely clear that which platform are you using, what is the exact process for you to qualify a lead, and how are you generating a qualified lead. Second, sales process. How are you communicating with the sale with the clients? What are the email templates that you're using? What is the brochure? What is the communication? How do you pitch the product? What are the prices? Each and every element you need to have it on the sales process. I've got another tutorial of mine which you can have a look, which is called how can you grow your sales, the 9 pillars which you should have in your team, in your business, to grow your sales big time. Okay. Vendor onboarding process, you can have it process documented. Employee onboarding process, this is some of the examples. If you have a proper documentation, maybe the operations process, the project tracking process, the inventory management process, you can define all these processes. And what happens that when you have defined, documented these processes, it help you out in giving the clarity to your team on how they need to perform the work, right? And they'll not be back to back following up with you on each and every small query, and you'll become proper system dependent. I hope you're enjoying the session till now. I hope it's really an eye opening for you. Type eye opening in the chat box if you think that this is really an eye opening. Yes. So the next element is even better. The next element is going to be approval matrix. Tell me, a lot of times whenever your employee is going to take a leave, they either WhatsApp you or they call you if they were taking a permission, or usually just they WhatsApp you or text you or just call you, sir, I'll not be able to come today. There is no approval in that. Whenever your employee is traveling by a car or flight or metro or anyway, or cab, and they want to take the reimbursement of that expense, what is the process are you following? Whenever your employee wants to buy either a mobile phone or a laptop or some item which is belonging, which they are going to use for company, how do you make a purchase for them? How do they request for that product? How do you approve? Is there any process for that? Yes or no? Right? Whenever your salesperson is trying to give the discount to the client, how's the quotation approval working? Is there any process for that? Tell me, yes or no? Right? So this item is big time missing in the SME sector, which is called approval matrix. And not having this, what happens is that you end up spending, and not just spending, wasting. You start wasting huge amount of time. Agree or not? Yes or no? किसी को leave लेना है, somebody wants to take a leave, there is no process for that. Purchase, there is no process for that. So this is one element which you should have in your business to grow your team's productivity, because your team's time is also going wasted and your time is also going wasted. Again, there's an add-on in Google which is called form approvals, and you can create Google forms of leave, purchase, quotation and travel, and you can add that add-on called form approval, and through which you can create a complete approval matrix so that you can completely put this process into automation mode. And all these functionalities are available in big ERP software which are charging you 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakh rupees, and here Google gives you in such a small peanut price all these functionalities. Right now, how to create the Google form, how to use all these add-ons. For that, what you can do, you can join our upcoming webinar, upcoming online masterclass by signing on to the URL which is given here, kevalkishore.com/webinar, or you might have checked on the video description, and you can be a part of online class and you can learn how can you start your automation journey with us. Right? Tell me, how was this takeaway that if to improve the team productivity, you should have the approval matrix, right? Because once your team starts following up this approval matrix, automatically their time gets saved. We are paying huge amount of money to employees in terms of salaries. Are we satisfied with ROI? Yes or no? Right? And that is the reason you should implement all this. Now, going into the next task delegation. It is the most important element of this entire video. What is happening? How many of you are not satisfied with the performance of the employees? How many of you feel that your employees are much capable of performing, but they are not able to do it? Type I feel in the chat box if you feel the same. Let me tell you, when you're giving the task to your team, you're either using the WhatsApp, or using the voice note in the WhatsApp, or you just calling, or you're just emailing to the employees. So what we are doing, we are using 4 to 5 systems or tools or areas through which we are delegating the work to the teammate. Now teammate does not have a diary where he create a list and he is able to manage all the tasks which is given. So for that, you should have a proper task delegation system where you are using a Google form, and you're filling the Google form to delegate the task to your employee, where you choose the employee name, you choose the target date, you choose the priority of the task, high, medium or low, and when you submit it, automatically it goes to the employee Google sheet where they see the priority, target date, and automatically email reminder keep going onto them on everyday basis on the pending task. And whenever they complete the task, you get the email notification, and if it is delayed, there's negative scoring. If it is on time, there's a positive scoring. So weekly scoring also can get from all this. So again, this kind of system are available in the market, but at a very, very huge price. Whereas when you use Google from Google Sheet, it can be very, very affordable system for you. So make sure that you explore this functionality as well, because these are those leakages, these are those blocks in your business that if you do not work upon, whatever ads your whatever budget that you have for marketing, whatever efforts that you have for your business, all will go into drainage. Nothing will come up until unless you implement these systems like task delegation, Intrasite, approval matrix. Nothing will work. I can bet on that. Okay. And finally, last but not the least, it's one of my favorite, which is called employees trainings. What happens is that we expect our employees to perform like a superstar, but we do not train them on how to become a superstar. So just find out that in terms of your teammates in sales, HR, operations, and finance, and maybe in the admin, create a Google form and ask them to fill all the skills that they think that they are really good at. Some might be good at designing, some might be good at accounts, some might be good at English, some might be good at any other skill, any general skill, and create another tab in that Google form and ask what skills do you want to learn, right? So here I'm going to write internal team training. This is one. And second, GSuite training for you and your team, right? These are two major elements. So first is internal team training. What you can do, you can find out that this guy is good at this and another guy wants to learn it. So you can match them both so that your one team member can train another team member. What you can do in their KRAs, make sure that in the entire month, you ask them to devote at least 4 to 5 hours or maybe up to 10 hours in a month, or 5 to 6 hours dedicated one day, or maybe a couple of hours in a week, where they need to dedicate the time on training other members. Okay. And you can create a calendar, you can create a Google sheet where you find out the skills which people have and the skills which people want to learn, and you match with who knows it and who wants to know about it, and you match that using calendar, using the tool, and your one teammate will start training other employee. So automatically within your organization, without spending a penny, you will start upgrading your employees. So this is one input from my side, and we do it a lot and we see a big result. And my students who are all going through our MBA program, Master of Business Automation program, they are using it and they are seeing great results. Secondly, make sure that you not only you get the training of the GSuite, you do not only upgrade yourself, you help your team also upgrade into the technology, because at this time, everybody needs to grow through technology, through system. The time has gone where we used to work on diaries, we used to work on pen. And let me tell you, if your team is not skilled with technology, they'll not be able to work on the processes whichever you create. So make sure at least 3 to 4 employees should be technically skilled in terms of Google Form and Google Sheet, right? So this was it from my side, guys. And I hope you enjoyed today's session on how can you 10x your team productivity. Tell me one word in the chat box, in your comment box, on how was this session, how to 10x your team productivity. Let me revise all these elements for you. First of all, it is going to be the KRAs, key responsible activities, so that your team knows what they need to do on daily basis, weekly, fortnightly, and monthly. And through technology, if they keep getting it in a list in the Google Sheet, nothing is better than that, because they get a list on what they need to do. And the fear that you have that I don't know what is my teammate doing, that will be gone. And automatically your team's productivity will be high, because they'll try to complete most of the things. Okay, they'll try to become more productive and complete their daily agenda. Yes. Intrasite, again, one platform on Google site on which you can place entire documentation, entire Google Docs, Google Form, Google Sheet, entire database of the company, department to department. Even you can restrict who will see what. Okay. Third is leave management. Then company policies was there just to bring the discipline. Process documentation, just to make sure that each and every employee knows what goes into steps when it comes to completing any process. Then approval matrix was a big hit. It was a big takeaway, because until unless you have approval matrix, you will keep spending your time, and your team will also keep spending time on just taking a small approval. One approval can take days if you're not available in the office just to sign that particular shitty document. But if you're available on technology, you can open your mobile, click approve, and it will be approved. Now all this is possible using Google Form and Google Sheet. Finally, task delegation system through which you can delegate the task. Saturday 1 hour you sit, you write your own task in Google Task, and you delegate the task using Google Form to your teammates, and they will try to complete that within next week. Win-win situation where a team completes your task on time, they get some salary hike or some bonus, and your goals which you want to achieve, they get completed on time. So it is a win-win situation task delegation tool. So make sure that you invest your money and time both on this, because that is the real thing which will work for you. Nothing else will work for you. And if you do not implement these things, whatever effort that you're putting you'll not be able to get that level of output. Are you getting me what I'm saying? What happens that your input, you might be spending 2x input, but if you're not getting 4x output, that input is zero for you. If you're spending 4x input and if you're getting 2x output, there is something wrong, right? And finally, team trainings, where internally you can organize your team's training, and technically as well, you should start training your team. So this is it from my side, guys. I hope you liked my today's training on how to 10x your team productivity. For all those people who are really eager to start their automation journey to 10x the team productivity, make sure that you come to our complimentary online webinar where we're training you on how can you 10x your team productivity, how can you start your automation journey, how can you scale your business using Google Form and Google Sheet. And make sure you forward this video to each and every friend of yours, your vendors, your clients, your relatives, your kids, so that they can also technically upgrade. And do not forget to subscribe this channel, do not forget to click on the bell icon, and do not forget to share this video and leave a comment on what was the biggest takeaway from this particular tutorial. And if you want me to create more videos, leave any topic on which you want me to create a video lesson for you guys. Thank you so much for sparing the time, and yeah, I look forward to see you again very soon. Take care. Bye bye. Keval Kishan, your business automation coach. See you. Bye bye.